Hello, and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's for newcomers. Ain't that right, boo-boosh? Yes. So, hello, I'm gonna introduce you, if you're new to FNAF, or if you just want to watch a video, to Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll be going through the history of the games, and I won't go too much in story, because that's a whole different thing, but yeah. I don't know, I have boo-boos right here. And, yeah, before we begin, please like and subscribe and comment down below if you want to, but please subscribe and like. And yeah. And now, I think we shall begin. Let's start with history. Five Nights at Freddy's was created by a man named Scott Coffin, who first made his first video game back in the year 2000. It did not do well. And then he made another one, and they all stopped not doing well. And it just continued for a long time until in 2013, he released Super & Sons Lumber Co. A game for everyone, except no one liked it. It didn't sell well, and some reviewers said that the characters looked like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. He was not wrong. And then, well, Scott was tired of making failed games over and over again, so he decided to just make one last game. And he decided on multiple options, but he decided on one. Based on the reviews, he would make Five Nights at Freddy's on August 8, 2004. And, well, the game started slow, but thanks to popular YouTubers, it blew up and became huge. And now it's one of the biggest indie games ever, and has 10 games, 11th one on the way, a movie, 30 books. It's huge. So let's talk about the history more on. So Five Nights at Freddy's came out, and it was a point-and-click horror game with a click team engine, where you are in an office all by yourself. In this office, you have multiple options. You have a power, and you can close and open doors to keep out any animatronic threats. And you can turn on lights, and you can also go on cameras. And you have to survive all 5 nights from 12 to 6 a.m. And try not let the animatronic foes get to you and kill you, or else game over. There are 5 main nights, an unlockable 6th night, and an unlockable 7th night where you can customize your enemies. From 1 to 20, you can customize 4 characters to whatever you want. And speaking of characters, let's talk about them. There's Freddy. He's a really hard challenge. Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, and her cupcake. Foxy the Pirate Fox, and a secret character called Golden Freddy. And in the back rooms, you can find a endoskeleton looking for a friend. Five Nights at Freddy's did so well that Scott was like, you know what, this needs a sequel. And on November 10th, 2014, he released Five Nights at Freddy's 2, a whole scarier game. Ooh. In this game, it's a lot harder. Same amount of nights, 5 main nights, a 6 harder night, and a customizable 7th night. And the custom night had a lot more characters. Though, the gameplay's generally the same, just check on cameras, check on the lights, but except there's no doors you can close. So to protect yourself from the animatronic foes, you would need a Freddy Fazbear mask that you would put on in the game to trick the robots into thinking you're one of them. Now let's talk about the characters. The all-new Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and her toy cupcake, Mangle, the old Wither Freddy, Wither Bonnie, Chica, Withered Foxy, and Withered Golden Freddy. New characters are the Puppet, Balloon Boy, secret characters being JJ, Shadow Freddy, Shadow Bonnie, and Endo 02. Now with all these characters you have to survive, and this game's slightly harder. So yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 did even better than the first game, so of course, Scott was like, yeah, this is fun, but I'll do one last game to end it all. And on March 2nd, 2015, he released Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Now this game was pretty creepy. And yeah. And the game also was different. Now, generally things were the same. Check the cameras, do some stuff. But now there was only one animatronic that could kill you. Only one that can kill you. And there's also another thing that was different in this game. There was no 7th custom night. There was just only the 6th and 5 nights. But the characters were still there. There's Springtrap, a little green little rabbit, smells literally bad, and he's the only one that can kill you. But just because he's the only one that can kill you does not mean there's others not in the game. In fact, there's a lot more. Though they can't kill you, they can still mess up everything you have. Like Phantom Freddy, Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, Phantom Mangle, Phantom Balloon Boy, Phantom Puppet, Secret Character, Phantom Shadow Freddy. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 did also well, but sadly, the fans didn't like the jump scares and thought it wasn't scary enough, so Scott Cawthon was like, you know what, I'll make one last game. No more after that. Totally. Definitely no more. And on January 23rd, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was released to the public. And did quite well, just like the last ones. And yeah, it was interesting. The gameplay was very different from usual. Instead of you in a pizzeria or onto an attraction, you're in a home. And you can move around the room whenever you want. Check the bed for monsters. Check the closet for anything creepy in there. Close doors and other stuff. And before every night begins, you can play a little minigame to earn 2 extra hours. So the night gets easier. Just earn 2 more hours and yeah, things get easier. But the characters, now that is really creepy. There's Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica and her Nightmare Cupcake, and Nightmare Foxy, and Plushtrap for those minigames. And yeah, if you beat 4 nights, on the 5th night, a new challenge appears, a boss fight. Nightmare Fredbear, and he's really hard and really challenging. After beating all 5 nights, you'll unlock a night 6, which is really hard, as well, you have to deal from 12 to 4, you'll have to deal with the 4 main enemy types, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and then from 4 a.m. to the rest of the night, you'll have to survive against Nightmare Fredbear. Then, if you beat all of that, you can unlock a hard Nightmare 7th night, where there's a new challenger, Nightmare, and he's difficult, really hard. And you beat the 7th night, if you put in a secret code, you can unlock an 8th night for the first time ever in the franchise. And the 8th night is just the same as the 7th night, except really hard. And yeah, now the game did quite well, except one thing. Fans were very confused about what the story was. They got over complicated, I guess, with the story and couldn't understand it. So Scott was like, you know what, I'll just make more games. So what did he do? He announced a movie, hopefully that won't take too long, a book, and an update, a DLC, and more games. The Halloween edition for DLC came out on October 30th, 2015, and basically what it did was to just replace characters with spookier versions like Jocko Bonnie, Jocko Chica, Nightmare Mangle, Nightmare Balloon Boy, and Nightmarion. And yet, after all that happened, Scott announced a spin-off game where things were a lighter tone, just because he was tired of dealing with all the horrible things. And right before 2015 ended, he released a book in December called Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. which was kind of confusing when what point of the story it was, but basically this takes place in a different timeline, but similar events. And yeah, and then 2016 has begun, and now Scott released his spin-off game called FNAF World, where you can play with all of the animatronic friends you know, and basically just go on an RPG adventure. It's kind of similar to Pokemon and Final Fantasy in gameplay-wise, and yeah, it's actually probably the best spin-off game FNAF has ever made so far. And yeah, and it had a lot of characters, like all of these characters like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Toy Freddy, Mangle, Balloon Boy, JJ, Phantom Freddy, Phantom Chica, Phantom Balloon Boy, Phantom Foxy, Phantom Mangle, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Freddy, Withered Foxy, Shadow Freddy, Marion, Phantom Puppet, Golden Freddy, Paper Pals, Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Foxy, Endo 1, Endo 2, Plush Trap Endo, Spring Traps, Shadow Bunny, Crying Child, Fun Time Foxy, or Toy Foxy, whatever, Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare and Fredbear, and Spring Bunny. Yeah, there was a lot of characters. And the game was quite fun, actually. It was slightly longer than that, but fans were kind of mad because like, oh, they were just not happy with it. So Scott removed it from Steam, but you can still play it, don't worry. It's on Game Jolt. And they later released some updates, and released one content update like a month later. Added even more characters like Jacko Bonnie, Jacko Chica, Scott Coffin, El Chip. I mean, not El Chip, Chipper and Chipper, Nightmare BB, Nightmare Puppet, or whatever, Nightmarion. Another character from one of Scott's old games, and Purple Guy. Now there's a lot of characters in this game and everything. And the game is quite fun and obviously really fun. But Scott was like, alright, time to go dark. And was working on a new game. And on October 7th, 2016, we got Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. And this gameplay was entirely different. Instead of just every night you're in the same room, traveling around the whole place. Like you have an office area again, but more in control. You're traveling down elevators and stuff and everything. It was crazily different. Offices and everything. Your handy hand unit who helps you guide along this whole place and everything. And there are 5 main nights, no 6 night or custom night. But every night's quite longer than normal nights in Five Nights at Freddy's. So yeah, it's quite different and everything. Now, obviously, you're seeing the giant circus creature or whatever, creepy doll thing, and you're like, what is that thing? Well, I'll show you. This is Circus Baby, a 7'2" tall giant creature baby, obviously, of Circus Baby's Pizza World, a sister location to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And yeah, it's quite fun. She's a very interesting character and stuff. But there's also more characters. Some of them you know well. One Time Freddy and his hand puppet Bon Time Foxy. New character Ballora. At the very end, Ennard, and these Binny Babs, Circus Baby's little minions. And Mini-Rias, which are Ballora's little minions. And yes, that's kind of all of the ones that you'll mainly see in the game, in the base game and stuff. And yeah, it's quite terrifying. There are more characters, but those are Easter egg characters, and I'll talk about them later. But anyways, so yeah, the game was actually quite well liked. It was longer than a usual FNAF game. It had a lot more to do. There was tons of secrets. It was quite fun. So Scott later added a custom night DLC. And the custom night was pretty weird. Custom night had 10 characters, just like FNAF 2, but there were some characters that were kind of added. Bonnet, the first female bunny of the games, and Pinky Lobit, who was in FNAF World as a shopkeep, but then added in sister location as an Easter egg, but then in the DLC added as a challenge, and doesn't have a full body, fan render of a full body and stuff. And yeah, she's interesting. Everyone loves her. She's very popular. There's Yendo, who was an Easter egg character in the base game, but was added as a fully character later on in Custom Night. Now, Sister Location did so well, there has to be more. So Scott was like, I'll make one last game. And in 2017, he released a second book called The Twisted Ones, a sequel to the first book and everything. And yeah. But then, Scott finally, in December, released
December 2017, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator came out and really was pretty cool. Let's talk about how the game works. In this game, you own your own Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and you could customize it how you want. You can customize with animatronics and other stuff and arcade machines and all that. And it's can't speak right now. But that's during the day. But later on at night-ish, you have to do tasks while surviving animatronics, and it gets pretty challenging sometimes. Then, right before you end your shift, bring in the new animatronic that you'll have to face the next night, and the challenge gets harder and harder. Do that for 7 days, and well, the game. But obviously, there's a lot of stuff and everything, and yeah. So before anything, let's talk about every animatronic that you put in your pizzeria. There's Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Bonnie, Rockstar Chica, Rockstar Foxy, Lefty, Mr. Hippo, Happy Frog, Ned Bear, Pig Patch, Orville Elephant, Funtime Chica, Music Man, Candy Cadet, Security Puppet, El Chip, and Trash in the Gang. Helpy is here to help you guide through the entire game through many things. But who are the animatronics that can kill you? Well, there's Scrapped Baby, Scrap Trap, and Molten Freddy. The game is honestly really good and one of my favorites actually. And yeah, it's real fun, and there was not much tease of it but still the game was really fun. And yeah, but this was gonna be Scott's last game, so he thought he'll make a DLC, a Custom Night DLC. That did not happen. He decided to make it the Custom Night DLC a full game, and that would be the last game ever. And before that game came out in 2018, he released the final book of the trilogy called Five Nights at Freddy's: The Fourth Closet. And it's also pretty good. A day later, released Five Nights at Freddy's, or UCN, Ultimate Custom Night, where there's a lot of characters you can customize in this game. 50 characters that you can go up against all at once, and surprisingly, somehow people have beaten 50 characters, 20-20, 50-20, all of them, all coming after you. And there's characters you all recognize and stuff. Some characters I did not talk about that you may see. I might talk about them in every FNAF character ever video, if you want that. But anyways, there's a lot of characters in here, and a lot of secret characters and stuff. And yeah, you can customize your own office. You have 4 options of offices you can use and stuff. That's pretty cool. UCN's also one of my favorite games because there's just so much to do and a lot of awesome stuff, really. But Scott was like, you know what? That's kind of it, and I want this movie to wrap up soon. But anyways, I guess I could team up with a small indie team and make a VR game. And later in 2019, he released Help Wanted, which was basically just the first 3 games were remade in VR, and a bunch of other stuff was just mini games and everything, and brand new stuff was just all in VR now, and there was so much to do, like a lot. And there was even a story, surprisingly, continuing the story forever and ever. Characters like Glitch Trap, and there's more, but I'll show them later. And the game was popular, so it later got like a little mini DLC, right, like a week after, but then got a full-on Halloween DLC, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, The Curse of Dreadbear DLC, which is very spooky. It added Dreadbear and Foxy. And then after that, it got a Christmas DLC, which just added some new stuff and everything. And yeah, that's kind of it for this game. But the year was not done for 2019, as there was a game that came out for mobile phones only. We got Five Nights at Freddy's AR Special Delivery. AR, which means augmented reality, which means you can play this game kind of anywhere, and it would be, and you can now have the animatronics in your own home, and it has a bunch of new characters that I will not talk about right now. I'll talk about them later. Yeah, but then the game was, but before the year went out, Scott released a spin-off game to help deal with, to help tie in with a charity famous YouTuber MatPat was doing, called Freddy in Space 2, which was a little spin-off game and everything, and it's pretty fun. And basically, the reason why it's called 2 is because in FNAF World, there was a mini game called Freddy in Space, and now there's all that, and it was pretty fun. It's actually really good. And yeah, now Scott decided to work on a new game. But this game kind of took a while because it was so big. It was called Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. But it got delayed so much that Scott released another spin-off game to help ease people because it was taking so long. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Fury's Rage with a spin-off game to help people because the FNAF Security Breach was taking so long. But then later on in December 2021, we got Security Breach, where it's all fun and to get. But sadly, this game was very buggy at the start, and just and that kind of ruined things. The gameplay wasn't too interesting, but yeah, it wasn't too scary either. But also, but everyone loved the characters, a huge amount. So let's talk about some of the characters, like Rock Freddy, Rock Chica, Roxy, Montgomery Gator, and Vanny. Freddy Security Breach is an open world game, so that's awesome. And yeah, it's pretty good. And later got itself a DLC in January of this year, of 2023. And the DLC was pretty good. Fans really liked it and stuff. Wasn't as buggy as the first game. What's wrong? Oh, the doggies. Don't worry. Oh my gosh. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Sorry, hold on. Just some incidents with the dog. Don't worry. He's fine. It's okay, Jake. It's okay. I understand. Come here. Come here, Jake. Come here. You can sit on my lap, okay? Yeah, you can sit on my lap while I record this video, okay? All right, is that okay? Okay, he's okay. All right, anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, FNAF Ruin was really well liked, and yeah, but there was more books before Security Breach. And the first book was called The Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights, which was like Goosebumps, but but FNAF. There was 12 books. Each book had 3 mini stories, 3 short stories, and at the end, like a little epilogue, like a little ongoing story and stuff. And yeah, that was released in 2019 before, but then it ended. And then another one came out called Five Nights at Freddy's Tales from the Pizzaplex, which lasted 8 books, and yeah, maybe more on the way. We don't know. They announced it, but there's not been word on it. Anyways, yeah. But now, this year, FNAF movie was coming out now. And right before it came out, and released a spin-off game to promote the movie and stuff called Freddy in Space 3, Chica in Space. It's also pretty good and stuff. But finally, on October 27th, 2023, it's a Freddy's movie. 8 years in the making. And I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I loved it. It's not the most perfect movie, but it's exactly what it needed to be. Cheesy, not more thriller than horror, and just everything it needed to be. I know, I love you. And yes, it's not the most perfect movie, but it's not the worst movie ever. And it's just exactly what it needed to be. And yes, it's perfect. But this year is not over for FNAF, because sometime very late this year, probably in December, we're going to get another game. The 11th game on the way, we're getting Freddy's Help Wanted 2. And it's not out yet, but it's probably coming out very, very soon. And yeah, get excited. And this is going to be very exciting. So let's get excited. So thank you for watching. I know I didn't really get too much detail on the story, which I can't really do. I'm not the best at explaining stuff. So check out MatPat or Game Theory on the story of Five Nights at Freddy's, or other channels like Right Host and very much more if you want more details on the story. because they could probably explain it way better than I can. And if you want me to go to every single FNAF character ever, I would do that in a heartbeat and stuff. Ain't that right, Jakey Boo? I know, oh, he's okay. He's okay. He's okay. It's okay. Anyways, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you like this video. I put some time into this video. Fun fact, this video was going to come out earlier, but the original video got corrupted and couldn't come out. So I had to remake everything from scratch. Just everything, like all of it. Like I had this all done like a week ago, but bam, it just poof, out of existence. No longer existing. So this was very fun to kind of rush things a little bit, but now it's here, and yep, I'm literally recording this right before I upload this video, so please like and subscribe, and also check out the Broski's channel, which I think I've talked about before, which is just the, it's a channel. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. The Broski's YouTube channel, where me and my friends play games like Minecraft, Five Nights at Freddy's, and more. And we're doing to go do more and stuff. And yeah, we haven't uploaded too much on here, but definitely more videos coming out there soon and everything. So please check it out. And yeah, and thank you so much. And have a nice day. Have a nice day, everyone. Just have a nice day. Because, you know, sometimes people don't ask it. It's good to ask to have a nice day. My voice hurts. My voice is killing me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please have a nice day. Goodbye.